I watch Hello Okanagan from Wine Country.
It's finally arrived! David, guess what?
It's showtime, guys, the moment we've waited for.
Our merch is finally here. This is the Sunset Towns, regular towns. We also have coffee mugs, koozies, tons of merch, man. It's here. I'm so
Deadly.
excited. If you want more information, click the link below to Snappy Prince, who's supplying it all for us. Hey, Dave! David! Where are you?
Huh. Guess Peter won't be joining us today, wherever he is. But you're in luck, guys, because today we're going to be doing some wine tasting with Cheers Okanagan.
Hello, Okanagan. Hello, Okanagan. Hello, Okanagan. Hello, Okanagan.
Welcome to our wine special. There's over 300 wineries, I stated earlier, all over the Okanagan. But why are we here? Because we wanted to visit a couple of popular ones that our friends from Cheers Okanagan told us about. Right, David?
Absolutely. No, we're really excited to come out to this one. It's got a nice, one of the nicest interiors and nicest decors you will see in the area. And fun fact, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the only winery in the area that we're in right now behind the airport called Ellison, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Beautiful.
We are the only one.
So what's the history? Give us the history.
The history of Ancient Hill is I moved here 30 years ago, business immigrant, bought an orchard, had a history as a vineyard. Now, there wasn't a vineyard here at that time. However, we took down the orchard and decided to go for it again. Planted new varieties, put together a building, made some wine.
And how does this area differ from what you were experiencing from the Netherlands, correct? From Holland?
That's quite a difference.
Yeah. So the weather's obviously fairly different. The climate, was there a lot of learning early on? How did that work?
I had to learn a lot.
Yeah.
Netherlands is not a wine place.
No.
Yeah, it's tulips and
Windmills.
windmills and
clogs.
potatoes
Clogs.
and clogs indeed. God help us. No, so
You can always hear the burglars coming too, right? Because they're making that noise at
well,
night.
they're the ones without the clogs.
Oh, smart guys.
The only ones.
You're the one trying to get away with clogs. No, so it's a very different country. Had to come here, had to relearn or learn actually for the first time how to make wine. And this area is different because it's a cooler area as well, the Ellison area. It's a cooler area and we have to watch what kind of varieties we can grow here. So I picked varieties that will actually ripen in this place.
So what kind of grapes are we talking about?
We're talking about Baco Noir, our main grape, Pinot Noir, Lemberger, Zweigelt, those are 4 reds, and Pinot Gris and Gewürztraminer, 2 whites.
Cool.
And do you have any Baco Noir? Is not one that you hear like commonly. Is that one of the ones that you're like specially known for here?
Yes, we are. That is our signature variety. It's one of the old varieties that got pulled out in the end of the 80s in the pull-out program. I really liked it. I put it back and it's been a really good choice.
And what can somebody expect from a Baco Noir? What is it like?
Baco Noir is a heavy, dark wine. It's a French hybrid. It has a very unique character.
Is it like the Guinness of wine?
Actually, yes.
There you go.
That might not be a bad description.
Deep,
No.
full-bodied.
Yeah, deep full body. It's unique. It's not like a Merlot or a Cab Sauv or whatever. So yeah, you'd have to try it.
And as the head honcho here, do you still work in the fields? Do you still work in all the parts of it? What parts have you hired out?
I work or I manage everything. And obviously we have a lot of help, but we are a smaller operation, therefore you cannot hire all kinds of people to do the work for you. You have to be involved yourself, and that's what we do.
And that's of course how you can ensure your quality also. This is what we love about the Okanagan in general. So many like small family owned and operated vineyards
Exactly.
where you can really feel the quality and the time and the effort that goes into every bottle.
I'm in the fortunate position that I can take the time. I don't rush things. I don't need to get a wine done quickly. to go to market. If it's not ready, it's not ready. We wait till it's quality, then you get it.
And on average, how long does it take from like the growing of the grapes to the bottling process for you guys?
White wines within a year.
Okay.
Red wines 2 years, because you need to age them in barrels over there.
Yes.
So yes, 2 years for the reds, 1 year for the whites. Pinot Noir, for example, we are pouring right now a Pinot Noir 2016, a Bac Noir 2016.
And do you hire an actual taster, or are you the taster?
No,
or
no,
are
no,
you
no,
looking
no,
for
no,
someone?
No. I have professional help.
I can be semi-professional. I can be stage 1. Until they go to like their stage 5.
You don't want me unsupervised on the side. No, I have a really, really good consultant winemaker, one of the best in the valley. Her name is Christine Leroux, and she drops by regularly, and we go through what has to be done in the wines, and that gets done.
Well, speaking of wine, I'd like to try some out if you don't mind.
All right, let's go for it.
Let's go for it.
Let's go taste. All right, everybody, now we're into my favorite part of the segment and the show, the wine tasting. So we're in your hands now. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what we're tasting, and then give us a little rundown on how we're going to be doing it.
All right, we're going to do white to red,
Okay.
and you're going to be tasting our top 3 wines.
Very nice.
It's a white Gewürztraminer,
Yeah.
our distinctive rosé, which is a lot darker than you get in other places, and our top wine, the Bac Noir.
We swirl, we sniff. What do we do here?
Swirl, sniff, and enjoy.
And cheers.
That's beautiful. So this.
What are we noticing?
This has floral components. Gewürztraminer is really good with spicy foods.
Okay.
It's one of the few wines that will actually not get knocked flat by spicy foods.
That's one of the coolest things about wines is how the soil comes through and where it's grown, the fields. Every
is.
little component can come through in the wine.
Next one up is our distinctive rosé. It's a lot heavier and darker than you would normally get with a rosé.
Cool.
And that's
Why
because,
heavier?
Because it has Bac Noir in there. The backbone of this rosé is Zweigelt, an Austrian grape, an actual red grape.
Yep.
And we put Bac Noir in there for extra color and a hint of Gewürztraminer for floralness,
Wow.
spiciness. If you treat a red wine like a white wine, you use different yeasts, then you will get a lighter type of red wine.
A lot of strawberry and berry on the nose there.
Yep.
Wow, yes.
So this has become really popular, this one.
Ooh, that's really nice. Cheers, Okanagan.
Yeah. And is rosé picking up steam as a wine itself?
It is.
It just seems like it's
It is.
it's getting more popular in the mainstream, I guess.
Yeah.
Because everyone's asking for rosé these days, more now I hear that than any other time.
Correct. You have 2 trends that are really increasing is rosé and Pinot Noirs. Those 2. And because they're both lighter type of wines. People don't really like the very heavy type of wines.
And especially in the Okanagan, we're well known for our Pinots even around the world. So
Correct.
yeah.
Great. So what do we got
All right.
next? Our last one.
Oh, we're going with the crown jewel here.
Crown jewel.
2016, is that what I see there? Wow.
Last one up is our top wine, the Bac Noir, a variety that's 120 years old, developed in France, pulled out in the end of the 80s and put back by us. Very popular wine.
What would you pair this with?
This is a meat pairing wine and heavy pasta and meat. So gentlemen, enjoy.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you for this. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for plenty more content and lots of contests with weekly giveaways.
Hey kids, we're on a school bus. Nope, just lying. We're on one of the vehicles that Cheers Okanagan has. They don't just take you around to wineries. They actually can take you up to the ski hills. They take you on individual tours, party buses for weddings, and they will also take you to the airport or pick you up if you need. This is our friend Rain from Cheers Okanagan, and we're gonna have a couple of questions here for you. Rain's actually here with his dad, Alan, who we're gonna chat with later, that's taking us to a couple of wineries. I wanted to ask your dad this, but I'll ask you, because I want to get a different point of view here. Why did you guys start this tour company?
That's a fantastic question. My dad originally was working for another operator, and he, being the businessman he is, he always is looking for a gap in the market or ways something that can be done, you know, smarter, faster, lighter, stronger, that sort of thing. And he got so good at being a guide that a lot of the winery owners and servers said, you should really do this for yourself. And you know, which is a great thing, but you know, it's a business just like everything else. And having come from an entrepreneurial background, he decided that, yeah, we really should give this a try. And so it's been a lot of hard work for the whole family. But they've vaulted. A guest actually pointed out we vaulted from 123rd place to 3rd place in just the first 3 years.
Wow! Congrats.
And now we're in kind of the 4.5 because we did mostly a soft launch. But yeah, that's why we're here.
I'm sure your dad's got a good answer for this one, but I want to get yours too. What's the funniest thing that's ever happened on a tour? Doesn't matter if it was a wine tour or any kind of tour.
It's terrible, but most of the really memorable stuff just gets pushed into the mix with everything else that happens.
It's got to be different every day. You're never bored.
Yeah, you're definitely never bored, but it's not. It's like when I used to drive a cab. People always ask me, "Do you have any weirdos?" I'm like, "No, normal people go take cabs too." So I can't. A gentleman who was doing a golf tour, so it wasn't even a wine tour, he was doing a golf tour. It was really, really hot. The AC was cranked. There was 20 guys in a vehicle like this with all their clubs, and they say, "Hey, can you pull over next to the lake? We just want to dip our heads in and cool off." He says, "Sure." Next thing you know, they're buck naked running into the lake as fast as they can to cool off.
Were they locals or tourists?
Tourists, definitely tourists.
So in all your like touring histories, have you ever actually like forgotten somebody? I find that to be like absolutely ridiculous for somebody to not be able to get on the bus and like be forgotten at the tour.
You know,
ever driven away and forgotten somebody?
No, but I'd say there's always a first time. And one thing I learned from watching the shark movie Open Water is make sure everybody knows who you are on the boat. Otherwise, they might just forget about you.
Have a buddy.
Yeah.
Have a bus buddy.
I feel like I'm pretty memorable. I would never get forgotten on the bus. So yeah, personally.
Hello, Okanagan. We're in East Kelowna. We're not in West Kelowna. We're not downtown. We're not Mission. We're not Ellison. There's a lot of different areas because of the different types of wineries that there is, as far as I'm concerned. This is how I know where I'm going with my wife. And I'm sure David's visited a lot of the different Okanagan wineries. But we're with Graham right now from Kitsch Wineries. Graham, how are you doing today?
Great to be here.
Wanted to talk to you about the history. I know you're one of the newer wineries, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a very popular winery already. You want to give us the history of you guys?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So Kitsch Wines was started in 2015 by Trent and Rhea Kitsch. Like you said, it's a newer winery for sure, but we've got a great following. We're doing awesome work here. They are from Kelowna originally, and so are their parents. So they're old school Kelowna for sure, not just people that parachute in like you were talking about earlier. And they've got a great history in business. They started Saks Underwear a number of years ago, sold that off a while back, and then started Doja, so kind of serial entrepreneurs. And then they bought these properties up here. You see right behind us here. This is Trent's parents' place where the winery is at. And they had these great vineyards, and they asked them in 2015 if they could start making some wine in their garage, and they agreed to it. They've been really awesome about the whole thing. And yeah, we've been making great wines off these properties. We have about 25 acres in this general area for the last 5 years.
Wow.
No, we don't see many wineries where they're making it like strictly out of the garage like this. So it's really cool setup, and really excited to go inside there a little bit more also. So how many years has this been up and running and everything?
Yeah, since 2015 they've been operating and making these wines. Exactly. Yeah.
Very cool.
What kind of grapes are out here?
So we've got Pinot Noir, predominantly Pinot Noir planted here, Chardonnay, Pinot Gris, and Riesling as well. And we're right actually in the Chardonnay block right now, and things are looking great.
And what's different about the grapes and everything grown in this part of the Okanagan as opposed to elsewhere? What are some big differences that we'll notice?
Yeah, exactly. So, throughout the history of the valley here, it took us a while to kind of figure out exactly what should be planted where. And now, not that we have exactly figured out now, but for these varieties, so talking about Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Riesling, I think they do really well up here. They ripen a little bit later in these climates as opposed to down south. So we have longer hang time, develop more flavor before you hit peak ripeness while you're still at good acidity levels. So they make really crisp, racy, delicious wines.
So you're talking about peak times. When is picking season time, I guess?
September through beginning of October for us up here.
And what kind of wines do you guys make up here?
Well, Pinot Noir Rosé, Chardonnay, and a Blanc de Blanc, so a sparkling wine made from Chardonnay, as well as Pinot Gris and 2 Rieslings.
Are we going to get a chance to sample some?
Let's do it.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Graham in front of the mansion, and we're going to try some delicious wine. What do we got here?
This is the Blanc de Blanc. So we were just down in the Chardonnay block. So this is made 100% from Chardonnay. It's a traditional method sparkling wine. So we make a base wine, and then we add a little bit of yeast and sugar to it, and then the second fermentation happens in the bottle.
Well, let me tell you, on a hot day, this is actually amazing.
I know, it's nice.
You're telling me there's no apple in here?
No apple in here. 100%
No apple,
made from Chardonnay grapes.
If you guys could smell this through the screen, it literally smells like grandma's apple crisp. Like,
In the future, we'll have
so
smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision, yeah, working on it.
So how can the audience, because they're not all from the Okanagan, we get people from everywhere, where can they learn more about the wine and maybe order some as well?
Yeah, well, it's great. They can go to our webpage, kitchwines.ca. Great wines.
And when do you guys close for the winter season?
Middle of October.
And that's just for the visits. Online's open 24/7.
Of course, yeah, 100%.
And you can, and is it by reservation? Like, what are we talking here? All walk-in?
Yeah, exactly. We do have room for walk-ins, but it's generally better if you go onto our website and then book on the website and book whatever kind of tasting you want to do. You can learn about the various options. The Moat tour that we went on, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. We're offering that for all of our guests, so they can learn about all those things. And then they just don't come out here and are disappointed if we're too busy to take them. And that's happening a little bit on some of the busier weekends, just because we're limited to our capacity just a little bit right now. So.
And I'm sure you see the boys from Cheers Okanagan down here quite often.
Yeah, pretty much almost every day I'd say that I see the bus in the driveway out there. So it's great. Yeah.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much, my friend. Nice meeting you.
Cheers. Very good. Thanks
Cheers, Okanagan. Welcome back, Okanagan. This time we're meeting with the head honcho, the godfather, the daddy, the big daddy of Cheers Okanagan Tours. We have Mr. Alan. Alan, how you doing, my friend?
I'm supernatural.
I'm really happy that you took us a couple of your popular and your most, favorite wineries. I know there's over 300 that we talked about. This is only the first show we're going to do in wineries. I'm hoping that you're not kicking us off the bus, that we'll be back on again soon to visit some other wineries in the Okanagan. But I wanted to ask you, first of all, about your company.
Cheers Okanagan Tours, really privileged. We have the largest fleet in the Okanagan. We have 10 of our own vehicles. We're actually able to help 15,000 people approximately every summer go on a once-in-a-lifetime experience wine tour. And then we have everything from small minivans all through 14-passenger vans, as well as 24-passenger VIP touring coaches.
And what's your favorite part of your job?
The favorite part of my job is actually because I'm caring and allegedly authentic. I just absolutely love helping people have once-in-a-lifetime experiences when they thought they were just going on a tour. And so our guests have been super fantastic. They on places like TripAdvisor and Google, they have helped us vault. Actually, one lady said we vaulted from 124th place to 2nd place on TripAdvisor, just because we help people have fun.
That's amazing. And one thing also, you guys are one of the only, if not the only, family-friendly tour. Is that right?
We love having kids on wine tours. People go, what? And it's just a matter of perspective, actually. It's just perspective. If you think about going to a winery as if you're going to a grape farm, and what kid doesn't want to go on a field trip to a grape farm? And even better, what child doesn't want to have the most important people in their life with them on the field trip? Just perspective. And so consequently, kids learn so much because they're knowledge sponges. So the whole thing about a really great wine tour is that it's fun, it's informative, and it's memorable or unforgettable.
Obviously, you you hire the correct people for the position. They have to have certain knowledge and this and that. But you said there was one thing that you can't teach, is what you look for in all your employees, and you want to tell the audience what that is.
Well, one of the most important thing is that people have a history, actually, of helping people. So they might have won MVP, they might have won Miss Congeniality. They found themselves always helping people for their whole lives, and that's key to us because we can't teach customer service. There's no PhD, there's no master's, there's no BA, there's no nothing for customer service.
It comes down to personality. You can't teach personality if you don't have it, if you're not outgoing.
That's right, Peter. It's all personality.
And part of that personality allows you guys to have some pretty cool stories and some fun times. Why don't you tell us a little bit about maybe one of those times, a couple of those times?
Wild things do happen, and a lot of the time it's, well, what happened on the coach stays on the coach. But one time we had 24 firemen and a few policemen from the Lower Mainland, and we pulled up to a winery. The lady at the winery came out, got on the coach, and said, nobody's coming in for a wine tasting unless you're shirtless. So all 24 firemen and policemen took their shirts off, and away we went.
So shoes and shirt equals no service in that establishment.
That's right.
Well, no,
No, it's the other way.
Shoes and shirts equals no service. Peter, I'm actually really happy to hear that it's a family-friendly tour, because it means you can bring all your grandkids around as well. So
Totally, my friend. I thought you were one of my grandkids.
Yeah.
I thought that's why we created the show.
Well, I am the same age, so by all means.
I'm as old as the dirt that is with these grapes out here. Okay, so one more thing. Where can people find you?
Peter, people can find us on OkanaganTours.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and this was a really fun episode. Definitely had a lot of wine, and cheers, OkanaganTours.com.
On one of the hottest days of summer. Cheers.
Thank you for watching Hello Okanagan. Make sure you guys subscribe
to our YouTube channel.